Yeah, can you? I'm just doing a little mic setup because I've got something that plugs into the laptop. Does the voice sound okay?
Yeah, it's amazing. Is that that's an actual mic? That's cool.
Yeah, I thought why not so that the sound can be more filtered out and not so echoey.
Yeah, I love that. Appreciate it. Do you can you maybe check just to make sure? It might
Yeah,
be connected to your headphones, the microphone. Like
okay.
I might be hearing you through your headphones. So if you go to Zoom, at the bottom left corner,
Mm,
there's like a mic, there's like a arrow, and
yeah,
then if you go to that, you go to see what kind of microphone is selected.
okay. Built-in output headphones. Has that changed the quality now?
No,
Does
it's
that
it's
make
the
a
same. It's the
difference?
same.
Okay. I can not use headphones, if that helps. So mic is on.
Maybe can you just go closer to the mic and see and then go away, just like testing it?
All right, what about now? Does that
Oh
sound
yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
better? So the mic just needs to be a bit closer.
Yes. If that's possible, yeah, that would be ideal. Usually podcasts, when you watch podcasts, they hold it like straight to their mouth. Um,
Ah, I see. So what about now? Does that work?
yeah, yeah,
Turned
that's
up the gain a little bit. Okay. Okay,
Podcast
how about
Pro,
now?
Adriana. Let's go.
Okay. I try to be technical.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. Did you have that or did you just get that or
I used to be a musician, so part of my job was playing in orchestras all around Melbourne, in my 20s. So I needed a
amazing?
microphone to record music and things like that. Yeah, so I've got two screens on because the microphone only works on a MacBook, and I've got
Mm-hmm.
another screen for something else. So if I'm looking at two things, yeah,
Oh,
don't
you're all
worry,
good.
I'm still focused.
You're all good. It's a podcast after all, so no one will no one will see you necessarily. But yeah, how's your day been? I know it's already later over there in Melbourne. How's your day been? How are you doing?
Yeah, public holiday today. The whole nation gets a day off because of a 3 minute horse race.
Must be nice.
Um, yeah, yeah. Even yesterday, because it was Monday yesterday, some schools are closed just, yeah, because of that. So that's good. It's a big
Nice.
deal here in Melbourne. They've got this Melbourne Cup thing
Okay.
and millions are on the line. So,
Is it
but
kind of
yeah,
like
as
the is it kind of like the Super Bowl in the US? Is
it
that the same?
is,
Yeah,
we've got a horse race.
that's funny.
Everyone comes in their fancy hats and yeah, so it's that type of event, but I stay clear. As vegans, we don't care about that kind of stuff. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, I'm excited to have you on here, and I think your story is really incredible and inspirational. And obviously, I want to showcase and just inspire people on the podcast and show them it's possible. Doesn't matter like where they're starting from or what kind of background they have. So starting into it, the plant-based fitness secrets obviously is the show, and I'm excited to welcome you here and to chat a bit about your journey and learn a bit more about how you're crushing it on a plant-based diet with your goals at the moment. So yeah, welcome on the show.
thanks for having me as your guest. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yes, it's a pleasure to have this call with you, and for me, I think when it comes to your journey, you've been with us for a while now, right? It's been I need to double check exactly, but I think more than 9 months, I think, right? Or we're heading to
No,
that direction.
7.5 months
7.5 months.
today since I started.
Wow, what a journey! What a journey! And I've been obviously coaching and watching you develop, and I thought it's a great time and opportunity to have you come on and share. What I always want to start with on the podcast with you is kind of your vegan story. I would love to hear that. What made you get into a more plant-based, plant-focused lifestyle, and maybe also just introducing yourself. So your name, your age, where you're from, and maybe also what you do for a living, so we have a bit of a context, and then we can dive in.
Yeah, I'm Adriana, 32-year-old Aussie living in Melbourne, Australia. 5 years ago was when I gradually started going plant-based. I've always been health conscious at wanting to be at my best, and I've been hearing the benefits of going vegan and started to notice the change around Melbourne when restaurants and supermarkets were introducing these alternatives popping up all over. So I decided to give it a go and see if I'd feel any different. And I loved it. I was
Hmm.
feeling great. So I didn't need meat to be satisfied. So why stop? The lifestyle started to naturally kick in.
Nice. I love that. I imagine the plant-based scene in Melbourne is pretty solid. Has it been evolving? Is it still growing? Or I've never been, so I love to hear.
Yeah, definitely lots of choices on the menus now. Wherever you go in the supermarket, the freezer section, health food aisle, there's vegan alternatives. So it's getting
Nice.
more and more well known.
Amazing. I was just in a grocery store yesterday, and it was like an organic kind of grocery store here in Switzerland, and I was at the kind of the fake meat aisle, and I was just amazed at. I mean, it hasn't really changed much. I mean, those options were here a couple of years ago, but I was just amazed how many delicious options there is, like tempeh, all kinds of tempeh flavors, all kinds of seitan flavors, tofu, obviously, also different tofu flavors. And I'm just like, wow, like there's everything I need. Everything I need is in this aisle, and I'm happy. Like I don't need to pick any, I don't need to buy any steak, I don't need to buy any other stuff. I have everything I need right in front of me. So that's cool. Okay, so then kind of going into the fitness journey, your health journey, when did you when did your weight or your shape kind of become like a problem, or I guess something that you wanted to work on and something that you wanted to improve?
Yeah, I've always been considered slightly overweight. I've always been the same throughout my 20s. Could be because I didn't do much exercise except for some light cardio now and then. And that's because I never felt any major differences in weight loss when I did put in that effort to exercise, like jogging. So that's why I was unmotivated to move much. And I'm very fortunate to have no intolerances or allergies or health problems. But I was still feeling great with the veggie diet, so I kept it up. I guess I could say life was good with the satisfaction of this new plant-based lifestyle.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, got it. So you said you've always been considered kind of in that category. Was there a moment where you realized you need to change something?
Oh, my goodness, yes. So little did I know my comfortable, happy life would turn upside down. The new year was looking very promising. My husband and I were approaching 7 years of marriage, and we felt it was the right time to start moving into a bigger house, planning a family. That future, along with the present I was going through and the life we'd built together, just suddenly shattered in an instant after I discovered he was living a double life. So sadly, the marriage had to end after deciding he wasn't going to put in that effort to get himself back on track. And it completely broke me or ruined me. All of a sudden, it was like I was alone, sleeping by myself from that night forth. I was in like a state of constant panic, knowing that this is how my situation's going to be now. Had to take the rest of the month off work, I should say, to deal with the grief. So many lovely people were offering healthy cooked meals and homes for me to stay because I was struggling to look after myself. And when the meals ran out, I started to live off junk food or I didn't bother eating at all. I was feeling so awful, and I knew I had to do something about it because these emotional eating habits would be here to stay otherwise. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I know it's not easy to share, and it's definitely yeah something that many people I would say would spiral in this situation, maybe for months, maybe for years, and it would be somewhat completely understandable, right? It's obviously not nothing I've ever experienced, but I can't even imagine how it must be. So really kudos to you for the way you've kind of approached it in a sense. So you mentioned you started to eat more processed food, more junk food, which by the way I can fully relate to that
Mm.
on that level. Where I've gone through something similar, a lot like on a smaller scale with my ex relationship, and I was eating a lot of junk food for like a couple of weeks for sure, and that's just like the instant reaction we have, right? Something like we need that some type of self-care and love you might want to call it maybe, or the comfort I guess that we get from food like that. But what if you so that was the moment that you realized, okay, like something's got to change. Did you like try anything? What are the things you've tried to kind of fix it, or how did that go?
Yeah, eventually I returned to work to force myself back into a routine. Tried to go fully plant-based again, sorted out my mental health with a psychologist. Finally, I agreed to move back in with my parents for the rest of the year so I can stabilize myself until I'm ready to find a place on my own. And I was hoping that was all I had to do to feel better.
Mm-hmm. Mm. But it didn't really help on the fitness side, on the health side. How did you feel in that
Yeah,
moment?
I wasn't quite successful. I managed to remain vegetarian, but the hard thing is being vegan always takes effort, and the motivation wasn't there to put that work in. Also, moving back in with your parents is challenging to adapt to when you've been married for so long. Overall, I was still a mess, even though I was doing my best to move on. I struggled to control my emotions. My doctor reassured me I didn't need to go on antidepressants. That wasn't the answer, since it's normal to feel this way when you're once close together with your spouse. So he encouraged me to try and search and find something else for me to do instead.
Mm. And how did you find us then?
Yeah, it's interesting because my mind went back to the time we were in lockdown during the pandemic, where my passion for adopting a plant-based lifestyle was growing. So while I was doing house projects, I thought I might as well listen to some podcasts to do with being plant-based. And I came across one by this guy who spoke with such confidence over angles of all life matters and revolving around a fit vegan lifestyle. He was super lean and strong, as if he was born with the perfect genes, lucky enough to look so healthy. You, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah,
Um,
who's this guy?
the experience was there and was lived and evident as I was listening, and it was things I could relate to or apply as an average person. Like you, Fritz, didn't magically look like this your whole life. So I was amazed to discover that maybe the things that I thought were impossible in life, where I thought only bodybuilders could do, can actually be possible with me. So I always remembered that. Going back to the start of the year where I was receiving the beautiful support from family, came a lot of encouraging advice. Drink more water, eat better, start exercising, don't isolate yourself, find a new hobby, talk to someone, do what you love. Yeah, follow your dreams. And I thought, well, this is it. This program looked like the whole package I needed rolled into one. I was thinking, yeah, this is how I could begin that healing process I knew I had to do. So I booked the call with you.
Wow. Amazing. Well, I didn't even know you. This is like full circle. Now you're on a podcast yourself, which is amazing. And I'm glad that it inspired you in some way and showed you that everyone can do it, right? I think that's why I started this podcast and why I started this company in the first place. Because if you look into the fitness marketplace right now, it is and it always has been quite dominated by people who are not natural or who are using things to kind of enhance their looks. And it's gotten even crazy over the last years, to a point where like I cannot even count like maybe one or two, well, a few people I know personally that aren't using anything and that are just normal people just like you and I and that work hard. And I think that's what I want to bring on this show as well. But yeah, that's amazing. So then you booked a call, and how do you find that kind of yeah, we have different names for it, like vegan vision call
Mhm.
or strategy call. How did you find that?
Yeah, finally, I got to meet you on screen face to face. You really were this amazing, lean, healthy, strong man. I was wondering if at the time if I was too much of a mess to get accepted into the program. And I thought, is this diet and exercise program too extreme? My body's already under so much stress. Maybe this will be too much for me, but deep down, I really did want to commit during the call.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, the call is also transformative to some degree, where we help you uncover your challenges and your motivations and dive deep. And it's really for a lot of people that have talked with me, they say that it's partly also just helpful to talk everything through by itself,
Mm.
to call itself is already helpful because who do we talk to the stuff about? Like who do we have in our life where we can open up and share? So after that call, when you join, were you still skeptical after that initial call?
Going back to you and your successful clients on the podcast where amazing things are possible, I thought, could I be missing the greatest transformation of my life if I pass on this? Is the impossible possible with me? I did want to put that to the test. I felt I already knew you through the podcast. I had trust in the program after listening to you. So, yeah, I wasn't hesitant about signing up because of that background.
Nice. Amazing. And then going in, okay, then you started and we went right in. When did you kind of realize that this time the diet and the program works?
So I was required by my coach to send a day one photo of myself where my stomach was so huge at the time. And then I had to send another photo after a month and another one after 2 months. And my goodness, I felt the difference subtly each day, but the impact of actually seeing myself change in the photo side by side was the reality I needed to believe it. My bloated looking stomach pretty much had vanished after 2 months. That's one thing I never thought would actually be possible for me. But strength training, I've never tried it before. It really did wonders for releasing that built up inner stress to ease the depression. I was feeling so much better, not just physically, but just discovering the joy I could produce on my own from my effort. There were so many positive changes, and I really could go on and on. It was amazing.
Amazing. So was it right after the first month already that you felt some differences come in, or the second month?
Yeah, it was week to week. I just kept feeling so different. Little things which I didn't think were
Nice.
possible were happening quicker than I thought.
Incredible. That's awesome. And what were kind of your expectations of coaching with us coming in?
Uh, Blood, sweat, and tears.
Hmm.
I thought pain, crazy dedication, like exercising at 4 a.m. and saying goodbye to your comfortable life was the only way to achieve such a transformation. That was what I actually wanted going into the program. I felt I had no life anyway, so I was willing to do anything you said, no matter how crazy hard. And the intensity of strength training had to be on a pain level, I thought, to actually look ripped. That was my stereotypical view of bodybuilders anyway. But I wanted the hard work and pain because I thought it would make me feel better on the inside. And I realized it would be dangerous to do that on my own without a coach. I could have, badly injured myself by now. Initially, there were times I did actually push myself too far and strain myself, but I was quick to learn my lesson. The last time you told me off was during one of our calls, so that was long ago, so hopefully you forgot. Because I'm all good now. I listen to my coach, and it's just not worth the risk because life would suck if I had done something stupid and wasn't allowed to exercise this far into the program, being excited with the results I was getting.
Yeah, you hit on a good point here. I think we do want a high intensity way of training and we want to push ourselves 100%. That's the only way to grow and tone up. But I always talk about longevity of exercise. So I've been training now for almost a decade and knock on wood, like I haven't experienced any injuries or difficulties during that time. And my friends around me, I mean, people who are younger than I am, like 23, people the same age, late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. A lot of them have exercised in the past, maybe have started with me on that journey, but because they have trained a lot harder and haven't really paid attention to the longevity of their training, meaning the form, the right intensity levels, they have injured themselves. So they have either like knee problems, back problems, shoulder problems. And guess what? Like they're 23, they're 28. They still have 60 years to go, and it will not get any better for most of them. And they cannot train as hard anymore, which is sad, right? It's let's just face it. And I think you're still obviously very young as well. And we have the tendency to want to really punish ourselves and go really hard. And there's a way to do it where you don't injure yourself for sure. But that should be the focus of, okay, I want to do this for the next 40, 50 years, right? I was just with my parents like a week or two ago, and my dad is, I think he's 69, 70. I don't want to butcher it, but he still does his exercise like a couple times a week. Obviously, he's not going to lift any heavy like bench presses, anything like that. But he has trained in the gym on machines. At home, he does his home workouts. My mom the same way, and they are super healthy and fit, and it's amazing to see. Now, obviously, when we are 30, even 35 or 40, we realize the importance of it, but we don't have that urgency yet that we understand, okay, this will be helpful going into our 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. So, long story short, why injure yourself now if you still have decades to go? So, main takeaway is push yourself, but keep the longevity of your training and of your journey in mind, because once you're injured, you probably maybe will deal with it for the rest of your life, which really sucks. So, but yeah, so what was your goal coming in the beginning of us working together? What was your goal?
Yeah, my coach helped me set a variety of long-term and short-term goals. But this program also taught me to celebrate wins every week. I was reaching a lot of smaller goals, which was actually fueling my motivation as I worked towards big goals. An example is day one, I could not do a push up, an actual real push up, without using my knees. After 2 weeks, I could finally do one. And after a month, I was waking up and starting the day with 20 push-ups out of self-motivation and drawing on the satisfaction that I could do something so easily I once couldn't do before, which is why I love to do it. Then, without even realizing it, during one of my weekly high intensity workouts, I had actually done over 100 push ups in under 20 minutes, along with other exercises mixed throughout 10 sets in that frame. I was getting stronger without realizing it. And now, recently, my coach introduced me to this exercise called burpees. This way
Oh yeah.
of moving your body is actually amazing because you drop to the ground, landing in a push up position. Then your push up leaps into a jump. And it's just amazing thing that my body can do this in repeated bursts where I felt like as light as a feather. I tried to explain this amazing feeling to my coach, but she must think I'm definitely nuts now. I'm like her opposite client. Sometimes she has to put up with me demanding for my workouts to be harder. So, yeah, I am the lightest weight I've ever been.
Wow, that's incredible. Love to hear that. And we sparingly use burpees, but we do like them from time to time. And they are a very functional exercise. Let's just say that. It's something that many people maybe don't see, but it's actually a functional, very functional way of training. Um, okay, so then once you start losing weight and kind of your goal weight, maybe you can share that as well if you want to. What was that, and what was the last time? Like, how long ago was it that you weighed that much, or that you were at this kind of shape, like your goal shape?
Yeah, so this week I am 54 kilos. I was a teenager when I last weighed this. I don't know how much that is in the American version of that,
Let me do the
kilos
let
versus,
me do
yeah.
the conversion.
But I never
It's
thought I'd ever be this
119.
light again. 119 pounds, is it? Wow.
Yes.
So that's what I am today.
Wow. Amazing. And how does that feel?
Yeah, I can't believe that I've gone through. So I began 64 kilos at the start of the year. That's what I was in the new year. And now I'm 54. That's like 10 kilos gone. Yeah, I can't believe it. It felt like I haven't put in a lot of effort to do it. I was just rolling through, yeah, life. Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. And how did your shape change with that? So 10 kilos lost, how did your shape change?
Yeah, so I began to just notice fat where it used to be turning into muscle, pretty much. So, yeah, so I'm not sure how that works exactly because I think fat gets burnt and then muscle kind of grows with constant work. Yeah, so I was definitely looking a lot different now.
Amazing. And did you have goals besides the weight that you wanted to achieve?
Yeah, I wanted to move my body in ways I've never felt before, particularly do a pull up. That to me would have been amazing if I could achieve that. So, even how I looked, could it be possible to have abs that were revealing or showing through? So, I was putting all of that to the test and working towards that.
Amazing. You can. You 100% can. That's a beautiful thing about a fitness journey or even a weight loss journey, that a lot of people think, okay, weight loss, it's just starving myself, going on a diet, and just miserable existence for weeks and weeks and months on end. No muscle being built, etc. It's not the case. It's actually kind of almost like you coming out of a cocoon and becoming a butterfly is how I like to think about it. You not just losing fat and losing weight, you're actually building strength and muscle and it's this beautiful transformation that is really enriching and not just losing a bunch of stuff. It's not just about, okay, I'm losing all this weight, I'm losing all this energy. No, it's like if it's done right, it will give you energy back, which is crazy to think about because you're eating less, but just more of the better food. And and then you're actually feeling better even though you're eating less, which a lot of people don't understand. Um, but did you have to starve yourself to lose the weight?
You don't feel like you're on a diet when you're doing this program. It's so satisfying. I remember my initial meal plan looked an amazing variety, like beautiful, heavenly vegan desserts included. Remember, I'm the opposite client where for now I didn't have the desire to eat yummy variety of meals. The flavors and the effort to prepare healthy meals were very overwhelming for me at the time. I was satisfied just eating for my nutritional needs without needing to think about it. So my meals are quick and easy, repetitive, with little effort. And I only spent 30 minutes once a week on cooking, and that's all I need to do. It's amazing and exactly what I need.
Wow, 30 minutes once a week?
Yeah, yeah. So I've got a diet plan because my living situation involves trying to create a little kitchen set up in my bathroom where I'm living temporarily. So there's not a lot I can do. So pretty much a sample day would be a smoothie in the morning. I can manage that with some type of salad sandwich and falafel for lunch. And dinner would be alternating between like a tofu scramble or a tempeh mixture with fresh steamed vegetables and balancing that out with different flavors in the smoothies or tweaking the variety was all I needed. And I've lost 10 kilos and have done it just on that. It's exactly
Wow.
what I needed because everything gets frozen, prepared when I do cook the mince once a week into portions. So that's it. I have to reheat it, and my life is easy.
Wow, that is in like me doing this for 7 to 8 years. This is the first time I hear someone saying it's 30 minutes a week. I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, if that's not amazing, I don't know what is. Like, that is incredible. So, freezing the mince, and then smoothie is made on the go, and
Hmm.
then the veggies are steamed in a couple minutes, and
Exactly. It
you're
takes 5 minutes to chop up some veggies and steam it while I have my tofu scramble, which I cooked in bulk, heating up for dinner. And it's so doable. This is my life. And it feels great that I can get such massive results in this little effort when it comes to food.
damn. That sounds amazing. I mean, I need to look into that. I need to look into that. That is cool. That is
I'll
cool.
send you my meal plan.
Yes, please, please. I'll join your coaching. Um, so was it hard for you to change your lifestyle?
Going from nothing to suddenly joining a gym and following the program was a massive change. Because I was given a plan, all I had to do was follow it, and I didn't have to think if this was going to give me results. You did your part, providing what I didn't know on my own, the plan, knowledge, resources, and support. And all I had to do was put in the effort to follow it and just trust the program. But sometimes I still, yeah, I'll have to admit, I had problems controlling my emotions with anxiety, like not wanting to exist. It was like a constant daily battle where I had to work hard to kind of rewire my brain to kind of feel nothing for the person I once was the center of my life, focusing on myself instead. There were times when I couldn't get out of the car or get out, to go to the gym or get out of bed. And this is where this program has been amazing, not just in flexibility for my needs, but also at helping me envision a bright future and a positive outlook on my daily struggles. Because my coach played a huge role in this at helping me achieve mindset wins. She taught me like the something is better than nothing strategy. And it's the adaptation techniques like this, which is what kept the program working for me. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's definitely a change to go from nothing to going to the gym, exercising. I can 100% relate, and I'm glad you've been able to grow through that as well. And do you feel like it's sustainable weight loss?
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm struggling, I have backup plans my coach has laid out for me to follow so that I'm always progressing one way or another and not giving up no matter what happens. If I don't feel like following my gym plan, that's okay. I can still move and do a 20-minute incline walk on the treadmill and then go home. If I can't leave my room, that's okay. I have a workout plan to build muscle in 1 square meter of space in my room. I even have an emergency fold up bench and some weights that fit under my bed for times when I would have skipped the gym coming home from work late. So these are the little differences I can fall back on when I would have given up otherwise.
Amazing. Yeah, that's what matters. Like being able to be flexible doesn't matter where you are, and you can still stay on track. So, how did the people around you react to your transformation?
I've had some people who haven't seen me in a while ask if I've become a personal trainer
Oh
for
wow.
work now because of the way I look. Yeah, I still can't believe it myself.
Wow. Looking
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
That's a great sign when people ask you that. That's awesome. How does it feel when they ask you that?
Yeah, it's hard to believe it, but that's because, I'm trying to learn to think positive again. So I guess the results are seen in others around you, like you're a walking billboard. So that's great. I'm helping myself realize that I have made a difference through everyone else's kind feedback and compliments. Yeah, it's been really nice.
Amazing. I love to hear that. Well, that's also what's kind of an always a benefit, like a benefit that we don't necessarily actively search out, but I've had a lot of clients and members that have gone through amazing transformations and consistently their work colleagues keep asking them, what are you doing? How can I do the same? Like you look incredible, and it's kind of it's a feeling that many people haven't experienced in their life, maybe recently or in general. But people asking for advice, asking for your help and tips for their health is an incredible feeling. That's why I'm doing this, right? That's why I keep doing this as well because it's just a satisfying feeling that it doesn't get old, which is amazing. So kind of wrapping up the transformation side of things. From that transformation, are there things that you can do now at this weight, at this shape that like you couldn't do before? And what else has changed in your life after you now are at this point compared to before? How has it impacted just general, how has it impacted your life to go through this transformation?
Yeah, not only have I got my life back on track out of this depressive state, but I actually know what it's like to truly live, to move my body in ways it's never moved before. It's like my full potential is now unlocked. Like I was always designed to be veggie and move my body in these amazing ways. It's funny, there's no way I can imagine myself doing pull-ups while trying to digest meat with that heavy, bloated feeling in my stomach. So no wonder I was unmotivated to exercise back then. I feel like I can do anything no matter what life throws at me now. It's helping me finish the year strong on what started out to be the worst year of my life. So that alone is massive for me to reflect on because I'm making it through and I did not give up during my worst moments.
Wow. Amazing. I love to hear that. And when it comes to the program itself, why do you think people are unsure about contacting us?
Where I am, I think many people have limited knowledge or understanding about the benefits of going plant-based, like it's a diet for hippies or something. I usually say I'm vegetarian because not many people I come across even know what a vegan is or what that means. There's also the marketing of vegan junk food labeled as healthy, which can mislead a lot of people who try it and don't feel better. In the program, we don't actually eat that kind of food. We don't even use vegan cheese, vegan butter, or those weird meat substitutes. Goodness knows what could be like other processed stuff inside that.
Hmm.
We know what real vegan food is that's healthy for the body. So, when in doubt, I would recommend even just listening to the podcast. That's what I did, and I had learned a lot from you at that point.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting. You would think that now everyone would know that this is not necessarily about being a hippie or like it's mostly about being the healthiest version of yourself, but it still kind of has this stigma. That's also why I started the podcast, and now we're actually approaching 400 episodes. I had a bit of a break for the last year because I needed to reevaluate as well where I want to take it, and now I have a good plan and excited to bring back more episodes and get to 500 episodes, get to 1,000
Bring it
episodes.
on.
Yes, you're not ready. Like you're not ready for what's to come. I'm super excited. There's some amazing stuff that I'm cooking up. But this is not about me. This is about you. So what do you think are some requirements someone should bring when they want to work with us?
I would say the basics needed to have like down packed for having the best start to this program would be, trying to go vegetarian at least. Also drinking minimum 2 liters of water a day, getting at least 7 hours of sleep, being active, like 10,000 steps a day. That would be the best foundation to thrive with the plan you would have in store for someone who would want to join. For me, I delve into all of this all at once in the mess I was in. If I can do it at my most collapsed point in life, where I suddenly left my beautiful home and my furniture behind to start fresh without, yeah, then I think it's possible for anyone to join if they're committed to following a plan.
Amazing. Amazing. Sounds good. And last question, did you recommend the coaching to others?
My goodness, yes, because for me, there's no way I could have done this on my own. I would have given up. So I have chosen to have a consistent call with my coach at 6 a.m. once a week. There are times when I wanted to cancel and not get up, but having someone who's there waiting, wants to check in with me, always reaching out and messaging me across the week makes all the difference because sometimes I think, like, what's the point on being fit and healthy, going to work, moving into my own place just to battle the cost of living on my own when I've got no one special in my life to share it with as a reward for this daily battle I go through? Thoughts like I'm not meant to be loved and, I did the best I could and it still wasn't enough for the other person, or I've got no hope of being married or happy again. Having a coach gives me a reason to show up and make progress when I battle these negative thoughts. Salamine has been amazing. She's helped me through all of this, and I wish I could see her every morning because that day is always the best after seeing her.
Wow. Amazing. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I think it's been incredible to see your journey, and it hasn't been easy. Obviously, you've worked through a lot, and I want to really applaud you for showing up for yourself and for your future self, for your future health, and really going through an incredible physical transformation, but also mental transformation. And the picture we posted, your transformation, which you can't see on the podcast right now, but it's on my Instagram. It's just kind of it's just the physical embodiment of your mental transformation, um, if you want to call it that, which is amazing. You're looking super healthy and strong, and now on the podcast as well, you seem like you're on track and you're in momentum. And yeah, it's your work. Like we gave you the coaching, but you put in the work. So I want to really applaud you for that and recognize you for all of that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for you and to your team, Fritz. You've been looking after me and it's been an amazing experience.
Amazing. Yes, and we're not done yet, so we got more time to crush more goals, which is exciting. And if you have listened to this podcast and you got inspired and you want to explore this yourself, maybe you are vegetarian, maybe you're not, maybe you're exploring the idea of living plant-based. I want to just share that as long as you're curious to explore like a plant-forward lifestyle, plant-based lifestyle, then you're welcome to book a call and we can explore how we can possibly help you to lose, 10 kilos or 25 pounds and really turn your life around in a way that you feel more confident, more energetic, and happy about where you're heading. You can go to just my website, fritzhorstmann.com, and it's also linked in the bio of this podcast. If you want to book a call with me and my team sit down and look at your situation, see how we can help you. Adriana, thanks so much for hopping on. This was a blast.
Thank you. Learning to love life again.
Yes, yes, I love to see it. I wish they could see you. You're smiling, you're happy, and that's all that matters in the end, right? I mean, all the hard work in the gym and with your nutrition should culminate in you being happier every day, which looks like you are. Obviously, we have our challenges, right? But
Mm.
it's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in, and we'll see each other in the next episode. Peace out. All right, amazing. High five.
Okay. Was that, did that
A
go
natural.
okay the way you expected it?
Amazing. Couldn't have been better. You crushed it.
Oh, thank you. I was very nervous to start with. So, yeah, thanks for following the questions in order. And what are you going to name the title?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think, mm, well, the question is if you're comfortable with that. I think we do have some people, we just recently had someone join as well that has gotten divorced, and it's
Hmm.
obviously a, touchy subject, so I don't want to just use it for our own sake if you don't feel comfortable with it. But I would have probably gone that direction of
Yeah.
separated or divorced, like from divorce to thriving, something like that. Um,
Yeah. You know,
that
pain
direction.
into power or something mental health related. I don't mind, to be honest. You can use whatever title you think is fit with your next episodes or plans. So that's all good. Technically, I'm not divorced yet because in
Mhm.
Australia, we're not allowed to get divorced
Oh
unless we've
yeah,
been
yeah.
separated for over a year. It's so
You
strict
mentioned
here,
that.
the rules.
Yeah,
So
separated maybe might be the better word if I use it,
that's
but if
it. Or
not,
just breakup. You can even
yeah.
use marriage breakup. That's, yeah, because that's what's happened and that's what's going to be. Yeah,
Mhm.
otherwise, all good.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing as well with the meal prep. I think that's insane. So I think we're gonna do a separate episode on that. How can you spend 30 minutes a week on meal prep? I mean, that's I mean, that's amazing, honestly.
Yeah, because Jeff's first meal plan was like, okay, a fresh juice in the morning, a green juice, and then, this dessert, that snack. And then next day was like an orange colored juice and then a purple. And in my bathroom, I was trying to juice and I was making a mess everywhere. Um, so,
Oh my
yeah, my
God.
bathroom's only set up for smoothies, sandwiches, and steamed vegetables. They're my three meals. And I vary the smoothies. I could do mango in there one morning and berries the next morning. Sandwiches are easy, falafels or lentils and steamed veggies because I have a microwave in there. Yeah, because I would use my parents' kitchen to make, for example, tempeh, chickpea tempeh curry, something like that. Yeah, throw it all in, stir it in the pot, and then there's 10 meals done, frozen, ready to go. Takes only 5 minutes to thaw in the microwave. Sometimes I put the raw veggies with half frozen tempeh to mix in together, like to make it even more simple for me. So, and then there's my meal, my dinner, done. Don't have to think. Go to bed. Didn't have to worry about junk food because there was something healthy there for me. That's all it was. And I've lost 10
So,
kilos.
so smoothie in the morning.
Yep, with protein powder, lots of protein
Yeah.
powder.
Lunch.
Lunch is always a falafel wrap. I
Hmm.
use like an egg-free with no yeast and all of that type of wrap, a nice healthy one.
Hmm.
A snack would be just maybe a handful of seeds or nuts because buying muesli bars has a lot of sugar in it in the supermarkets. So
Yeah.
that's why I use the raw nuts instead, just a little bit. When I get hungry in the afternoon, it would be protein powder mixed in water.
Hmm.
And then that would fuel me an hour before going to the gym, straight after work. Then after the gym, my tofu scramble with a whole broccoli, a whole zucchini steamed up with that. Dessert would be maybe just a scoop of peanut butter. I used to do the peanut butter on the rice cracker that
Hmm.
Jeff taught me, but because my life is so simple, I just have
Hmm.
one scoop of peanut butter out of the jar, and that's enough to satisfy me. That's like
I love
chocolate.
that.
Piece of fruit for dinner, like a punnet of blueberries, even, and that's it. And that's how I live every single day, the same thing. And Jeffrey assured me that it does meet my nutritional needs. I can sometimes mix carrot and celery in the tempeh bolognese and then have my steamed
Hmm.
greens still.
Hmm.
That's my secret. That's the secret diet plan. But not everyone can do that with taste.
Yes.
So they
No,
need
that's
variety.
no, I think it's interesting because I've had a rotation of my own food that I've repeated for like weeks and weeks and weeks now, the last couple of weeks, even through summer. Um, but I have gotten a bit sick of it, so I'm looking for like a new rotation as well, and looking into my own meal plans and recipes. But just to clarify, so the falafels and the kind of tempeh or the mince, that's what you
Mhm.
prepare in bulk in advance, right? You
Yes,
said,
I'm
or
following your recipes with that.
yes,
Hmm.
amazing. So prep the protein sources in advance, have them ready to go, and then you just throw them together with the veggies or with
Yep.
whatever you have.
Veggies only take 5 minutes, raw, fresh from the fridge. Yeah, and that's why the tempeh bolognese or the tofu scramble only takes half an hour in the kitchen. Um, yeah,
Nice,
so
cool.
yeah.
Well, that's super valuable. I think I'm gonna
Yeah, your meal
share that.
program has only one serving with the calories, so I had to adapt it by, tripling it, quadrupling it to get that bulk.
7x,
Yeah, so
seven
I
x the
can
recipe.
yeah, so I have like 5 massive blocks of tofu. I'm throwing it at once and everything,
Perfect.
just a big pot, do it all at once so that I don't have to do it again. So that's all it was. So
Amazing.
that's why I've succeeded. Yeah.
Well, no more excuses then. If that's possible,
Exactly.
then everyone can
Yeah.
do it.
I thought I'd get into trouble for not, doing much variety. But when I move out into my own place at the end of the year, I'll have my own kitchen and I do want to explore these other vegan treats when I'm more happier and free in my own kitchen. So, yeah, I'll do that. And that's why I'm going to move out earlier before the program finishes so I could utilize all of that and get the most out of it rather than just
Amazing.
move out when the program finishes. Plus, I need Celine with me as I'm learning to live life alone. When I do move out, I need her. She's
Nice.
my go-to. So, yeah, it's
We'll
going
be
to be
there with you.
exciting.
We'll be
Thank
there with
you.
you.
Great.
Amazing. So thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was beautiful. It's gonna go live probably next week. So yeah, you can be on the lookout for that.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, thanks so much for sharing. I think it was amazing. Do you just one last thing? Did you have a chance or did Salome talk to you about the Trustpilot review as well? Or um like just a
Um,
written review?
yes, so I wrote a review and I submitted it to Trustpilot, but it didn't go through. Was that something on your end that you
Um
declined, or should I
no,
just
it's
email it to you, or should I just
you
try again and
you
fix a
can
few things? Maybe if I use a different email address, maybe it will work.
yeah.
So you'd like me to try that again?
It's really weird, but it does that sometimes where it doesn't let the review go through. Like I've had a couple people had to redo it, unfortunately. So if you could, you can just copy
Okay.
paste it again or whatever you did. That would be amazing because it doesn't show up on my side of things. Yeah,
I will do that. Great. Good to know it wasn't something from your end. It was a technical issue. So I will sort that out and send a message thumbs up when it does go through. Thanks. I
amazing.
can do that.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Well, let's crush the week. Let's make it count. November is a whole new month for us to conquer. And again, thanks so much for your time. It's amazing to see your journey. And yeah, anything else I can help you with?
Um, yeah, I think that's all good. I was asking Salome some questions on what to expect as the program wraps up. Like, will I have access to EverFit exercises still? Like, I was
Hmm.
just wondering what happens at the end, just so I can be mentally prepared with what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have yeah, a couple months left, but usually it's over, right? So you can take everything with you that we gave you, obviously.
Do I
Um,
still have access to the app, even though I can't use the group chat anymore? Like to do exercises to follow along? Or is
um,
that,
yeah, unfortunately not. You can take the exercises with like the plans you received and all of that. You can take it with
yeah.
you.
Hmm.
Um, However, if you want, we can do in a couple of weeks' time, we can have another call and have like a game plan call where we can reflect a bit more on your journey, look at the numbers, and then look ahead on what you want to work on next. And we have some options that are not at the same kind of level in terms of cost. We have a bit more affordable ones, and and that could be something we could explore if you want to hop on a call in a couple of weeks. We can do that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll know once I move into my own place, because I'm planning to live in the middle of the city. Like, I'm going to be very distracted with that, setting
Yeah.
up a new life there. So I'm not sure if I can commit to something extra, even though it's been great. But you never know, I might really want to do it. So that's a good plan in a couple of weeks to
Yeah.
see that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we can touch base on that for sure.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks so much for doing this time today. It's really helped. Yeah, so I'm very excited because it's the end of the year and I've made it. I never thought I would. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, amazing. You're an inspiration and keep it up, honestly. I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Then have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll talk very soon.
Thanks. See ya.
See you. Bye bye.